What is up? It is your girl, April Squires, and we are back for another solo sesh on Sunday sessions. Emphasis on the motherfucking sesh. What is good? What is happening? I am only now coming back to life after 2 weeks of being away from Costa Rica. And yeah, I just wanted to hop on and chat with you guys and tell you all about the magical experience that I had on Envision Festival or at Envision Festival, I should say. Yeah, I just want to give you guys a little inside scoop on how that was, what we got up to. What the fuck is Envision Festival? And hopefully some of you guys will see you there next year. And yeah, it's not sponsored or anything. If they'd love to sponsor me, please and thank you. Yes, I would love you. Kisses, hugs. But yeah, so your girl is back and we are ready. First of all, I just like to highlight the fucking struggle it is to go on vacation and try to come back to work. Like, even though I go on trips and then I try to come back to work, it's like I almost forget every time how hard it truly is to get back into the groove. I love my job. I love what I do. I'm passionate about it. Don't get me wrong, but goddamn, like it is a struggle. And especially adding travel into like going down to Costa Rica and then coming back. And I was only in Newfoundland for like 10 hours. And then I had to turn around, go back to the airport, hop on a plane, stay in Ottawa, and then come all the way back to the Arctic. So like literally one climate to the next, trains after trains. I was sick like on the way home too. So it made everything. I was on a struggle bus, you know what they say. But yeah, I just wanted to say that if any of you are traveling and you're fucking heading home to go to work, I get it. I feel it. I lived it. It sucks ass. And I just want to point that out. Let's just start with, the nitty-gritty here, the realistic struggle of traveling. So there's that. But I'm back on top. Anyways, yeah, so you're thinking like what the hell is Envision Festival? If some of you guys follow me on Instagram, so April with an extra L Squires is my regular account, and then there is the Sunday Sessions account. So Sunday spelled regular and then SESHINS for sessions. So there's two, and you guys probably seen some pictures and you're like, what is this hippie doing out in the middle of the jungle? Like, what is happening? So let me break it down. So Vision Festival took place out in Costa Rica. It was a week-long event, and you don't have to stay there for the full week. We did get the week pass, but you can also just do like a 4-day pass. So you do have some options if you don't want to go the whole time, because it is like the survival of the fittest, honestly. A week-long rave music, arts, culture kind of thing that's happening in the jungle. And so they build this whole community in Uvita in Costa Rica. It was in the jungle. Over 7,000 people attended this from like all over the world, all different types of people. It was, family oriented just as well as it is for solo travelers, for group travelers, for people older who want to attend. Like anyone can go to this festival. The community is built in the jungle. There's bamboo, there's just like regular sheets, and like they build everything from accommodations to showers to bathrooms to merchandise to stores, like just regular stores, pop-ups. They also had like different food vendors come in. And so you had a array of different things. There was an art gallery that they had built there that local artists and like regular artists came in and they had different arts and they switched out the different type of art that was in this gallery. So you could view it all week. Shout out to the glitter booth. I had a VIP ticket or a VIP bracelet to go to a booth that just had unlimited biodegradable, more importantly, glitter that you could use all week. So, you get ready, you go there, you're glittering your ass up, glittering everything up, and you're heading out to the music part, to the rave part now. So, anyways, yeah. So the community was built in the jungle. There was VIP, general admission, and like I said, family sites. There were solo traveler sites. And so you had this huge community built in the jungle, and it was also right next to this gorgeous beach, just sand, and the water was so warm, guys, in Costa Rica. Like I've never been in water that was so warm and beautiful to be in. There are waves, there's people parasailing into the beach, there are people surfing. Like it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. It was so well built. Like I couldn't get over the magnitude and the size of this event and how well it had been kind of put together, because I've been to other raves, other events and things like that. And it wasn't just about raving and partying and stuff like that. It was culture. It was a whole thing about art. It was like something that I've never fully experienced before in my life. to that scale and to that amount of feeling and emotion that was also attached to it as well, because it was so much about like togetherness and connection and stuff like that. We bought a week-long ticket. So the week-long ticket was around $800, but if you're looking at, a 7-day event, that's, a little over like, $100 per day, which you at first, it's kind of hard to wrap your head around spending that much money on an event, but it's the ticket's worth it. The ticket to go to Envision Festival, that price, if you can't afford it, if start saving up now this year to go next year for it, like it is worth it. It will change your life as long as you don't mind kicking it in the jungle. So that's the cool part about that. And so you guys might wonder, like, how the hell did a Newfoundland little girly ended up in the jungle in Costa Rica? And so I asked myself the same question. And so basically, January of last year, me and my friend Abby, she's been on the podcast before, we were talking about going to Costa Rica. And I originally wanted to backpack Costa Rica. I wanted to like land, rent a car, backpack the whole way across and like go. So the idea of going to Costa Rica was already in our minds, but a little bit different. Both me and Abby have gone through like a lot this year with just being in a transitional state and just like figuring out like kind of like who we are, what we love, looking for hobbies, looking for things, like kind of like rediscovering ourselves. And so Abby sent me a message in December and she's like, yo, there's this like huge music festival. She just saw it online and she was like, it's in Costa Rica, which is where we're going to go. And anyways, so do you want to go with me? And at the time, I'm planning on going to Europe in April for my birthday. So I was kind of like, and then my friend Kim, who I work here with, she's like, fuck it, book the ticket. If you got a good job, like a steady job with a good income or whatever, like who gives a shit? Like you'll pay it off. Like don't worry about it. And so that's all the convincing I needed. And so we booked the tickets. So it's $800 for the tickets. And then like it was $1,200 for accommodations. The accommodations, we did end up getting VIP as well because there was like a different access to like certain bathrooms, certain vendors. Like you had your own private like sit down area that was really nice. There was a DJ that played there during the evenings. There was also tents that you could stay at. There were cabanas that you could stay at that were a lot more expensive. But yeah, I think it was just the fact that there was this like lounge area that was private and there was like two of them. That kind of like sold it for me. And when you're there in the jungle and stuff too, like you don't just want to like having to come back and just like get in a tent. It can be a lot. Obviously you're in the jungle, it's fucking hot. You feel like you're cooking like a Costco rotisserie chicken in there because it's like 42 degrees in Costa Rica. And so just to go lounge there and like be in the shade, it was really nice. So that was nice. However, next year, if I was gonna go, I probably would still get a VIP ticket to go there, but I wouldn't book my accommodations there just because there was nothing wrong with staying in the tents and staying in the tent was nice. But like after a while, I think it just me, myself being an extrovert and an introvert, I do like the party. I do like, being immersed in all the experience, but I also ended up like we made friends with people who had Airbnbs and stuff like that. So we were able to like get away and like go there and like just like leave the festival for a little bit to like reground, resettle, do all that and then come back. So it was nice to like get away and come back. And if you're going with a group, like you might as well, or even just two people, you might as well just rent like an Airbnb, maybe even rent a car so you can go and like look at the rest of Costa Rica. Like it's like you're paying all that money to go there. It's like it'd be nice to like actually go see other things while you're there. So that I would change differently. What I would say though is that there is a place where you can set up a tent in one area if you bring your own tent. And I think some other people like that I know of that didn't bring tents ended up getting tents there or something. So I think that would be a good idea. Have the VIP ticket, and then you can also have a tent, buy a tent, whatever fuck you want to do, and set it up in this area so that during the day when you're at the festival, you do have a place to like go and crash and like just like throw your shit in. And then you can like get it on your way out leaving the festival. And then you have like a little spot during the day that you can go to, but then you also have a place outside that you can leave. So I think that would be a really good idea. And that's something I would do differently next year if I was going. Just like a heads up for what I think is like a good idea. Abby convinced me. I'm like, fuck yeah, whatever. I'll go. I'll get a ticket. And so the journey begins. So time's counting down. It's March, and we go from the 4th to the 11th to Costa Rica. And so I let Abby book everything. And there's no hate right now talking to Abby. It's just funny. Like those friends that book stuff. And then as it's going, like things aren't what they seem. So Abby's like, don't worry, like I'll book everything. So I'm just sending Abby the money, right? Here, Abby, here's the money, here's the money. Like just book whatever. You know what you're doing. You want to do this festival. So the night before we're about to leave, we're like, I don't know, like let's be generous and say 6 hours out from flying. So Abby's working at the embassy. Shout out to the embassy. I love that pub downtown St. John's. I'm like, Abby, can you send me my ticket? And so she sends me the ticket, and the ticket says April Elizabeth Squires. And I'm like, fuck. Elizabeth isn't my fucking middle name. And the funniest thing about this is that I sent Abby my passport with my passport information. So I don't understand how that happened, but to me, that's funny, right? So I was like, holy fuck, like we're leaving in a few hours. Like I need to get this figured out. I got to get this sorted. So I messaged Abby. I was like, Abby, the E in my name, first of all, my two middle names is ER. So I don't know. I have an aunt that's name is Elizabeth. I don't know. Maybe that was a confusion. But Abby thought she had it in the bag, booked everything. Anyways, I was like, you got to call Air Canada and get this changed. And she's like, well, it's on your mail. I was like, no, Abby, we're traveling internationally. This needs to get fixed. I'm panicking. A couple hours before we're about to leave, she's like, yo, I called. It's all fixed. Don't worry about it. I'm like, sick. Okay, we're back on track. We're better than ever, you know? So I go and I pick up Abby. We go to the airport and we get there. We go to Yellow Belly like you do. We sit down and then we're waiting for our plane. We go to Toronto and then we have a pretty long layover in Toronto. And my friend Alicia Tilly's there. And so we're all hanging out for like a few hours because we land around like, I don't know, let's just say 10 a.m. And then our next flight is until like 4:30. Alicia's flight to Mexico ended up she missed her connection, so she was just literally chilling, and she was actually leaving after us, which sucked because she even landed there before us. And so we're all just like literally in Toronto Pearson, and we're just bouncing around all the places you can eat, and we're just drinking and like having a good time and like whatever, life's good. We get on the flight and we get down to Costa Rica, and it's like 9:30 at least at this point. And Abby's like, yo, like I sent Abby money because we were going to get the shuttle. So the shuttle it was running every so often from San Jose Airport to Uvita, which is another thing. You guys can book this shuttle, and you pay $220. So it's like $105. It's like one way, and now it's 3 hours. So you think, oh, $105, but it's a 3 hour drive to Uvita from San Jose. So, that to me, that's fair, whatever. So that's what we get, me and Abby. We land, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, I don't see any fucking shuttles. I don't understand. This cab driver comes up to us. He's like, yeah, no more shuttles tonight. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, no more shuttles tonight. And he's like, the last shuttle was at 7:30. And I was like, the fuck? And I was like, Abby, did you check to see when the last shuttle was? And I go on the site. At first, if you just look at it, it's like, yeah, you can get the shuttles. But then if you scroll over, like on the screen, it says the last one 7:30. She's like, oh shit. I was like, oh shit is right, Abby. We're fucked. It's 9:30, going on 10. We're in San Jose and we have to get to Uvita. And so we're panicking, right? I'm like, holy fuck, like just something else, right? We got to try to overcome here. So, just a heads up, if you book the buses, shuttles, please ensure that you check when your flight is landing and when the last shuttle is. Ended up losing out on like literally like $220 between the both of us because we both lost out on the one way, which sucked dicks, if I'm being honest. But it's okay. Our spirits are high. We're in Costa Rica, we're just rolling with the punches. And so me and Abby's like, well, what the fuck do we do? This guy's like, yo, like come get a cab ride. He's like 400 US. I was like, I'm not paying $400 US for a cab. I get it's 3 hours, but fuck that, right? And then we're like, should we just rent a car? But then we're like, if we rent a car, it's 600. And if we rent a car, we've already paid 220 to get the shuttle back, like coming back. And I know that we'll get that one because A, I'm with Abby, so I'm going to make sure we're going to get it. B, like there's no way, right? So we just spent $220. We can't go and spend 600 and then lose it on the money coming back. Like that's too much. So this guy's like, I'll charge you 300 US cab. And at this point, it's like 10 o'clock. And I was like, fuck it. I don't care. It's been a long day. And so we're like, whatever. Thank you, sir. He's really kind, really sweet. So whatever. We get in the cab and we're on our way to Envision Festival in Uvita, a 3 hour cab ride. So we're in the cab And Abby's like, yo, download the app, which is really cool. So they have this Envision Festival app that you can download on your phone, and it's the whole grounds of the festival, where the exits and entrance is, where the beach is, where all the different huts are, like where is everything medical, like it's on this little grid map, and you can see when the different places are open till. And so we're on the way there. We're like an hour into this cab ride, and I look at it and I'm like, Abby, it says that the gate closes at like 11, maybe 12 at the latest. This is a 3 hour cab drive. Okay. We're not going to get there till 1 a.m. I was like, fuck sakes. Right. Like, we're not going to be able to get into the festival tonight. And so I'm like, you're going to have to email them and see what's on the go. Like, tell them the situation. I was kind of peeved because I don't think that they should let you book. They took the $220 for us, knowing that Abby put in the time that we needed the shuttle for 9:30. So that kind of pissed me off because if your last shuttle's at 7:30, then you shouldn't let people buy tickets after that. And they didn't, they're non-refundable. So I think that's kind of stupid. Envision Festival do better on that. That was one thing that annoyed me. We're on the way there. Abby's texting them. I'm now looking for places for us to stay in Uvita in case we can't fucking stay or get into the festival. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, right? Whatever. It is what it is. We're rolling with the punches once again. So she emails them. They're like, no, sorry, if you don't get here before 12, like you're gonna have to, the gate's shut, you can't. And I was like, what a sick joke. So I'm here looking up places to stay, but obviously it's last minute. So it's gonna be like we just paid 300 US for a fucking cab. It's like probably minimum $400 for a hotel. And it's just annoying because we've already paid for accommodations. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just do better than us. That's all I'm saying. It's like be smarter. Anyways, they message back and they're like, actually, there's someone here till 1. We will let you come in if you get here before 1. Now, mind you, we got in the cab like a little after 10 and it's a 3 hour ride. So I'm like, God damn it, right? Like, we're fucked. JK, we get there with like 6 minutes to spare. We don't have enough cash on us. So we don't have enough of the local currency on us. And we're trying to use the debit machine, but there's no service down in the jungle. So I hop out of the cab. I run over to the gate booth, the ticket place to like check in. Abby has to go back with the cab driver to the main road because we're in the jungle. And I'm going down to get our tickets. I'm like, hey, like we got here late, like we got tickets, like please let us in. And Buddy's like, yo, we're just about to shut down, but here you go. So I get us the bracelets. Abby's out on the road. She pays the cab driver. She comes back. And another thing you should do if you're staying there is don't take an actual suitcase. I don't know what we were thinking, but we shared a suitcase between the both of us and thought it was a good idea. And we're in the fucking jungle. So you're like hauling this suitcase through the jungle. It's a little silly. Anyways, we get the bracelets. We're back on top. Another obstacle has been overcome. I feel like I can just tackle anything at this point. So we get there, we check in. It's really nice, the VIP section, to give you this like really nice eucalyptus spray and this like Envision Festival towel, which was really nice. And it had like Envision Festival is a nice blue. It had like nice like rope like material like around it. It was gorgeous. So we're going down and we paid all this money to stay in these accommodations. And Abby told me we were staying in a cabana. And then we're walking down through the jungle. It's like 1 a.m. and it's dark as fuck. They have some lights on, but like you can't really get the full feel of what this is yet, right? Like you're going through and it looks cool, but like you don't know how cool yet, right? And then we're walking past all the cabanas, and I was like, seems a little funny. And then there's this lines of tents that they have in the VIP section. And Missy's like, oh, your tent is down here, number 93. And I was like, Abby, I was like, what did you book us? And she's like, oh no, I thought I booked us a cabana, but I must have gotten us a tent. I was like, I don't even care at this point, right? I'm like, whatever. I have a place to sleep. I don't care. I don't mind tents. I was a kid that liked to set up tents. It was good. So we get down, we get to the tent, and you don't need much sleeping in the tent. Like they give you a lawn chair to put outside, which was nice. They put like this mattress thing in it, like one that like doesn't deflate or whatever, 2 pillows and a sheet. And that's all you really need sleeping in a tent because it's fucking hot. And anyway, so that's our home. So we just throw all of our shit in there, we throw our suitcase in there, and we start walking around and we're like, holy shit, like this is gonna look crazy in the morning, right? We are walking around and most of the stages are shut down at this point because it's Monday night and like most of the things don't get on the go until like I think the latest the stage started staying open till 6 a.m. was like Thursday or Friday, something like that. But then Wednesday they were open till like 1 or 2-ish. So like yeah, so there was that. So but the sheer look of everything was just like crazy, like the scale. And I was like, I couldn't even comprehend. So we go back, we go to sleep, we wake up and we're like, holy shit, like this place is huge, huge. We go out to the lounge area in the VIP section where, we have breakfast. The food there. So you have a bracelet and you can link money, you can put money on it, or you can link your credit card to it. We just linked our credit card to it, and that way you could pay for food. Now you could have gotten food plans, like meal plans, which is what I thought Abby had gotten us, but no, that wasn't the case. So we were paying like $10 per meal in VIP. If you wanted food out of VIP, it was more like anywhere from like 12 to $23. So the VIP also gave you the benefit of having cheaper food to buy. And it was really nice. It was like avocado toast, fresh fruit, yogurt. It was really good chicken sandwiches, like it was stuff like that. You also ended up getting in the VIP ticket. They had this bottomless drinks from like, I don't know, let's say 6 to 8 Thursday to Sunday. So there was that too. So that was pretty cool. Now, when we went to actually utilize that, I never really seen anyone actually walking around, and the bar people, they're like, oh yeah. And I was like, nah. So that was kind of that was, do a little bit better with that, I would say, Envision Festival. Like we were there and I never did get a free drink, so that was kind of stupid. But I know that's what they had it like advertised for. Another, just like a small thing. It's whatever, right? You're in the jungle. You're probably not even we weren't even drinking that much anyways. Like if I had more than like 3 drinks a night, it's too hot to drink, right? Basically, once you're there at Envision Festival for the whole week, there are classes there starting from really early in the morning, and they go through to like really late at night. On top of just like the DJ sets and the main stage, like Lapa and Luna and like all these places, and Soul Stage and stuff like that. So there's all these main stages. Go there, and there's different types of music. There was techno, there was bass. There's so many genres of different types of music, different DJs, live singers, and stuff like that. So basically, each night we kind of like bopped around all the stages because you had different moods, different feels, right? What were you feeling in that moment? So that's what we done. But during the day, we got to do meditation classes. We got to do ecstatic dancing, which is like a really cool like music, like feel like your body just feels very like a wave. Like I don't really know. Like you gotta look it up, look it up. And so, like I said, there was meditation, yoga, there was ice baths, and different workshops that you could do. Breathing, like I didn't realize the importance of breathing and the effect it has on your body. And shout out to Rod, one of the friends that we met while we were down there, and you can follow him on Instagram. So if you guys want to know, his name is Roderick. So it was spelled Rederick, and his last name is Ramirez. So he is amazing. He is actually like a personal coach when it comes to breathing and stuff like that. And so he showed us the importance of that and how you can just really like just easily reset different things for your body. And so like a small thing like talking about resetting the parasympathetic nervous system. So when we're all getting in that fight or flight mode, what he taught us is breathing in slowly for 4 seconds, holding it for 4 seconds, breathing out slowly for 4, and then holding slowly for 4. And you do that twice. And instantly, I'm telling you guys, this just instantly works to reset that response that you have to kind of just help calm you down a little bit. And I know we all kind of get worked up or in the moment or things like that. So that's something that I constantly am practicing every day now. If I like wake up or I feel a certain type of way, I just do that quick little work breathing, and it does help. And like you guys should look into that. It you don't realize the power of breathing, and how it affects the physical part of us, and it's connecting the physical and the emotional part of us. And it's really it's cool. It's cool, especially from a medical standpoint. Like it does have an effect. And so yeah, so you guys should look into that. And the coolest thing about Costa Rica, I would say, besides the arts and the music and the culture and all that stuff, one of the coolest things we done every night is everyone basically would go down to the beach. And so sunset was around 6-ish each night. Everyone would go down to the beach. Some people would be like swimming, some people would just be sat on the side, and people would cheer as the sun was setting. And we're so close to the equator, right? So the sun in Costa Rica is so big and huge and red and gorgeous looking. And everyone was just so thankful for the sun and for its setting and for it to be the ending of another day and like giving thanks for the day that we had. And like, I think it's that's one of those like small yet beautiful things that we can do is just the appreciation of each day and just like how small we are in such a big, beautiful, magnificent world. And yeah, I don't know, like it was just the coolest thing, like the grace and the appreciation of everything. It was just that was super powerful. It was like one of those things that stayed with me, and I was like, wow, I'm gonna like be like every sunset, like there's just like a huge new appreciation. And the way the sunsets in Costa Rica, like I've never seen sunsets like this. The colors just take over the whole sky, and then it's so close. You're just looking out over the beach and the water, and it's like the water is like on fire, like it's just so fucking crazy. And so as you're walking down to the sunset too, there's all these vendors and people that you can for of locals that are like selling stuff like that, and they're so happy and so appreciative of your support, and even just like saying hello, like it's not weird, it's not anything like that. And so give thanks to them and shout out to them for putting in the hard work and being down there and just hustling. Like it's cool. It's a cool experience. And so yeah, so every night we said, we went down to the beach for the sunsets and gave thanks. Yeah, then there were these firefighters. No, there was not firefighters on the beach. There were fire performers on the beach. Oh my God. Well, I'm telling you guys, I'm just getting back to my senses here. And so there were fire performers on the beach. Particular one person I became close with, his name was Ratty Flows. So you guys can find him on Instagram. We did post a picture together. We were like connecting with our third eye. I know you guys are like, April, you're such a little hippie. I'm like, yeah, I know. It is what it is. His name on Instagram is like Radi Flows. And so you guys should check him out. He was a really cool person, a really good soul. And so people like him were down there and they were just playing with fire and there was drums, and it was so immersive. Like it was the craziest thing ever, right? And this happened every night. So that alone was just fucking awesome, to be honest. Then everyone would come back from the beach because they did the beach down. Like they tried to shut the beach down after 6, but it was like a slow shutdown. So you guys got to see the performers and then walk around and then kind of like make your way back up. At this point, the place during the day, it looks completely different at night, let me tell you. They have all these cool fucking lights on, the stages are lit up, everything's more like spooky and fun and just like neon. Like it's the coolest feeling. It's like literally when I say night and day, it is night and day. It is so fucking cool. Everyone goes back. Everyone's like, getting ready, go shower. When you go to the bathrooms, there's just cold showers. There's, maybe 6 places to do your makeup right next to, or like get ready, like outside of the showers. And then there was like, they did have this little salon place set up in VIP, but realistically, there was only like a couple of places to like charge your phone. Like, obviously, you can't charge your phone in a tent. But like in the main area in VIP, there were some places to charge your phone. So for the most part, during the day, like no one there is really on their phone. And most people are just taking their phones and you just plug your phone in, you leave it there all day until it charged, and then you would take your phone back at night or whatever the case may be, just to have it or whatever, right? So because you're not on your phone, but you do want it for pictures and things like that. So yeah, I will say that. On the other hand, so we're all getting ready and we would go out and we would go to the different stages and listen to the different types of music all night. Yeah, so that was really cool. There was a lot of different music. I was really into the house, the bassy kind of stuff. And it kind of changed during the nights. Like by the time we got to Sunday, we sat down and there was this woman performing from Africa. And her voice was just, oh, it just blew me away, right? Blew me away. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Went around, we bopped around, went to all the different places, listened to all the different musics, and then we'd come back. So you get up and then it'd be a whole new day again. One of the cool workshops I went to was with this girl, and she basically teaches us. Well, her story was that she used to basically use her body for sex with people, and she didn't really know who she was, right? She didn't know who she was, and she was kind of doing this, trying to fill something missing inside of herself, basically. And so she actually ended up like disconnecting from like all of that and just trying to really find who she was. And it lasted like 2.5 years, like no sex, no anything. And she is on Instagram. If you guys want to follow her name is Damiana, and it was loves you. is her name. And one of her things is orgasmic oracle. So you guys can imagine what's happening here. And so she's such a beautiful soul. And she basically teaches us that we can connect to ourselves and who we are and our sexuality and all that stuff through loving ourselves. She taught us the importance of like meeting people and having that urge to want to be with them on a deeper level, physical level, without actually doing it. So the workshop was all about just like, so you partner up with different people. Basically, you're like your hands, you're breathing with each other, your hands are next to each other, but you're not actually touching, you're not actually doing anything. And you're looking, you know, left eye to left eye, you're looking into that person's soul. And it's just talking about taking back control and just feeling connected to someone without actually being physically connected to them. So that was one of the coolest workshops that I went to. Funny because I was at a different workshop. I was at a meditation workshop a few days before that actually, and she was just friends with the guy that was hosting it. And he was really cool and talked about his journey to basically become connected to himself and being able to connect with others and teach them things about consciousness and things like that and listening to yourself and blah blah blah. What I was saying about just like I was here, you know, at first I felt like I was going to Envision Festival to just be with Abby and like, you know, just do whatever and be there for her because she really wanted to go and she was like, haven't been on a trip in a while and blah blah blah. But while I was there, I very much realized that I was meant to be in Costa Rica and be at this festival to hear the things that I was hearing and to be present and to really focus on myself and what I need and want out of life. And so it was a big reset for me as a person. And it was really beautiful. Like I knew I was going there for different things, but I didn't realize how deep it was going to be for me. And so just from the answers I was giving in class, she came over to me and she was like, "Hey, I'm doing this workshop on Sunday. You should come to it. I think from what you're saying and what you're looking for, this workshop is going to be cool for you and just connecting with yourself and just getting back to like kind of who you are and what you need." And so yeah, it was amazing. So shout out to her. She was amazing. Give her a follow. While we were down there, me and Abby went by herself and we ended up making friends with some people. So shout out to Bree from Boston, Travis from Edmonton, Milo from San Francisco. We also met Lucas, who is from Austria. And so yeah, we ended up calling ourselves, oh, and Rod. Oh my God, I can't believe I almost forgot Rod. Sorry, Rod. Don't hate me. And so we ended up calling ourselves kind of like the Wolf Gang. And we howl and things like that. And I didn't even realize I love to howl, just like some random stuff, right? You're hearing this now, you're like, how random, but you got to be there and just see how freeing it is to be in an environment where no one cares what you're doing as long as you are happy and you're true to yourself. No one cares whether it's, you know, nudity on the beach or things like that, or just wearing whatever you want, looking however you want, not like not worried about makeup or all these like things that we do to please others. No one cares. Ultimately, no one cares, and they shouldn't care, right? But I feel like back in like Western society, back over in where we're, you know, in other places, is like we get lost in the day to day doing stuff for other people instead of just doing stuff for ourselves. That is one of the things I've taken away from that too, is just like being happy and okay with ourselves and how we are and not wanting to look or be like anyone else because we're so unique and so beautiful. And that's what I was admiring the most about the people that were there, was that everyone had their own kind of style and way of being. And it's cool that everyone was so in tune to who they were or trying to get in tune to who they were. Oh, I also forgot Andy was Jim. Andy thought he had his passport stolen. I know this is a random thing, but anyways, Andy, I love you. He's from Ireland. I can't believe I almost forgot you. I almost had to go to the embassy with him. Well, there was no embassy, the police station, to get a hold to the embassy to get his passport back, but that's a whole other story. Anyways, people being true to themselves, that's the point of this. And so it was cool because we were all in this like wolf gang that we called, and we are all so different, but we're so unique, right? And I just have such an appreciation for people being themselves and not wanting to be like everyone else, because there is only one you. Growing up in like small towns or big cities or things like that, like we get so caught up in the latest trends or makeup or, you know, filler and Botox. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with these things, but like be true to who you are and how you look and what you want to wear and being authentic, and don't give a shit about what anyone thinks. Truly, no, it's none of no one's fucking business. If other people are so concerned in what you're doing and how you look, those people, they don't matter. They're energy vampires. Don't let that affect you or change who you are as a person to just have those people around. Like it doesn't matter. Stop being so miserable and concerned with other people and judgmental of other people. Just fuck off, honestly. Like I don't know how else to say it. Like, man, I'm sure there's a nicer way to say it, but that one just fits the best for me, honestly. Be who you are is what I'm trying to say. Be who you are. Do what you want within reason of like being kind to others too. And a lot of the stickers and stuff, there were so many stickers and different sayings around while we were down there. Peace in every step, love in every action. I just want everyone to take that message and kind of go forward with it because it's so important. And just the conversations I was having with people down there and like just walking by people, right? And I'm a people watcher. I love that. I don't mean to, but people are just so interesting. Hearing people saying like, man, like what's your aspirations? What's your goals? Like, what are you here for? Like, are you here to connect? Like, what is it? Like, so everyone was like looking for this deeper meaning and purpose. And yeah, I thought it was just so cool. It honestly just restored my faith in humanity. And I remember coming back up here and people were like, hey, how's your trip? And I was like, man, I restored my faith in humanity. They're like, oh, so like your everyday trip, hey, like just casually restoring hope and humanity and stuff like that. So yeah, I just want to say that if you guys are thinking about going next year, or there's lots of different festivals around this year as well if you're looking for similar things or anything like that. But Envision Festival, I gotta say it's so cool and it was worth every dollar, even the extra dollars that I spent. I encourage everyone to go if you're looking to like reconnect and just like want to be involved in something bigger than yourself. There's classes with people who had their PhD and talking about food and the toxins we have in our food and just talking about how we've gotten away from that and people getting sick. And like I believe in medicine. Obviously, I'm a nurse and I do believe there's antibiotics and things like that. But I do also believe that we've gotten away from initiating natural remedies at first. Like if you have a lot of inflammation and stuff like that, like like yes, some people need to be on prednisone and stuff like that. But I also do believe in the use of like turmeric and black pepper, a natural anti-inflammatory and stuff we used to use before. And I find now with medicine, doctors and things like that, they're focused on symptom solving instead of cause solving. Natural healers and people like that, like they look at the cellular level of the body and like what is actually happening and trying to help people on a cellular level, which is really cool with just things that are natural. And if I don't know. I just that those kind of talks too are really interesting to me. And I'm not saying herbal medicine fixes everything, but it definitely does have an effect on people. And we used to use it all the time, especially like way back when, like, like back in my past life. I don't know if I said it on this before, I probably did, but like I was a witch. I swear to God, I was that spooky lady next to the woods mixing up herbs and like giving it to people. So I do think that like obviously you have to be cautious with what you're putting into your body, but I do support the idea of natural remedies for things instead of just causing people to take all these pills like pharmaceutical companies. And I don't know, like use your own judgment when it comes to stuff like that. Make sure you do talk it over. Make sure it doesn't interfere with other things that you're taking. But like, turmeric and black pepper, I'm just saying, really good for information, stuff like that. And just being cautious of the food and what we're putting into our bodies because like you ever just read something, it's like made with all natural things and no chemicals or toxins or pesticides used. And you think to yourself, like, fuck, like, shouldn't that not be used anyways? I don't know. I'm just saying, like, be cautious and be aware of our bodies and our environment and what we're doing to it. Because you only got the one. When I was also in Costa Rica, sorry, mom, but I did go to a guy, and me and some of the Wolfgang members did get a hummingbird tattoo, and I'm really impressed with it. And so it's going to be a piece of Costa Rica that sticks with me forever now, which I'm super excited about. And the fact knowing that I got to meet some really cool people and we all got matching tattoos together. And one of the guys actually it was his first tattoo. So that was Travis, shout out to you. You're the man, you're the mammal. And so, yeah, I'm really looking forward to being done my rotation in the Arctic on Tuesday and then getting home and relaxing and then going to Europe after the following rotation. Like I'm home for a bit. I come back for a bit and I'm going to Europe. And I know that some of you are listening in Brussels and I plan on actually going to Brussels. So if you guys follow me on Instagram and you're interested in meeting up or anything at a cafe one day or something, that'd be super cool. So I do see you. I do like it gives me locations of people and where they're listening to. And so yeah, I thought it'd be super cool if you guys want to do like a Q&A or something, let me know. If not, I don't, it's okay. I'm not offended. It is what it is. You're busy living, laughing, and loving. Me too. Me too. But anyways, yeah, I just thought I'd throw that out there. So I know this has probably been so much. You're like, April, what the actual hell? And you know what? That's what I've been saying. What the actual hell have I just been through? And it's completely changed my perspective on life. And it's made me more humble. And it makes me want to be a better person and to be true to myself and I'm more authentic. And I want to share that love and positivity with you guys and with the people in my life and just having more patience and kindness and stuff like that. Moving forward, we're trying to be open and honest and choosing ourselves and what we need. And choosing what you want, guys, is not selfish as long as you're doing it because it's what you really want out of life. And sometimes when you do those things, sometimes it may seem like you're hurting others, but the goal is not to hurt others. The goal is to put yourself first. And so that's okay. Like, I think we think being a little selfish is a bad thing, and it's not. And if you're doing it with the right intention behind it, is not malicious or whatever like that, then fucking do it. Like, it's okay to put yourself first. And like I said, no one has you like you have you. And I've said that since the beginning of this podcast. And so we need to stick to that. We have to choose ourselves. We have to love ourselves and we have to be there for ourselves and listen to your gut feeling. And my friend the other day, I was shouting to Nicole, like she was saying, if it's not a fuck yes, then maybe it's a no. So do that when you're making decisions and listening to your gut. And the universe is making you feel these things for a reason. The universe is pushing you to think differently about things, and you're not going to settle in something that's not meant to be settled in. If you're feeling a little out of place or if you feel like something's wrong, then it probably is. And it doesn't mean you have to abandon that. It means that you have to listen to what it is that you need to fix the situation, to manipulate the situation differently so that you do feel settled and that you do feel good. And whether that means staying in it and working on it or it means walking away from it, like know your limits, listen to your gut, and that's the motherfucking tea. Okay. So thanks for tuning in. My mouth is so dry. I don't even know if I took many breaths in between this whole episode, but yeah, I thought it'd be super cool to reach out to you guys and give you a little inside scoop on the Costa Rica life and the Envision Festival. And hopefully we can all meet up and go next year and get a villa or sleep in a tent again. There's also a croc and a poisonous snake, but he didn't get us. And that's the risk you take it living in the jungle, you know? Okay. You're like, what the fuck? And I just wanted to make a little side announcement or just shout out to the boys, to Nick Earl and the Reckless Hearts. I know they're trying super hard to get the position to sing and open up for Mariana's Trench. That is happening on June 26th, which I will be attending. So I want you guys to go and flood Iceberg Alley with all the love for Nick Earl and the Reckless Hearts. They're so good. They're so talented. And of course, why not have one of our favorite local bands open up for one of our childhood favorite bands? I mean, come on, let's make it make sense here. So yeah, so go give them some love, and thanks for tuning in once again, and I'll see you guys next week. Cheers.